What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most requested reviews analysis, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. But before we get into that, if you're considering a purchase, don't miss out on this incredible discount available right now. Check the description below and the pinned first comment. Now, let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer provides a nuanced assessment of this mesh Wi-Fi system, acknowledging its strengths and weaknesses based on extensive experience with other comparable products. Our reviewer's home network, spanning a large, multi-story house and encompassing numerous connected devices, presented a rigorous test for this system, placing it against competitors from well-known brands. While this client found the system to be good, even very good in certain respects, they did not consider it superb or flawless in all aspects. This product's performance, although not the fastest among its competitors, was deemed adequately fast throughout the entire area, achieving impressive speeds even at the furthest points of the network, provided sufficient nodes were used. This observation highlights a crucial point. Our reviewer discovered that the manufacturer's claims regarding coverage with a smaller number of units were not fully accurate, particularly in larger or complex homes. While 3 units could provide adequate coverage for a smaller dwelling, their experience indicated a need for additional units to maintain optimal speed and eliminate dead zones in a larger home. This client ultimately deployed 6 units to achieve full coverage and speed. Despite requiring more nodes than initially advertised, the cost-effectiveness of adding extra units remained a significant advantage, especially compared to competitors. However, the system's ease of use presented significant challenges. Our reviewer found the setup process particularly arduous and time-consuming, noting that the software interface felt unfinished and lacked intuitive design. This, coupled with the less-than-helpful app, contributed to a frustrating initial experience. This client rated the setup process as the least user-friendly amongst the systems they've used, expressing concern that it might overwhelm inexperienced users. The app itself, while offering a considerable degree of network customization and configurability, fell short in terms of user experience, displaying occasional alarming messages and inconsistent feedback. The lack of a web interface further restricted user control, contrasting with the features of its competitors. Despite its shortcomings, the app's functionality became more manageable once the initial setup was complete. This client acknowledged the system's speed, stability, at least during the review period, and competitive pricing. They highlighted its speed as more than adequate for a gigabit network, regularly achieving download speeds exceeding 600 Mbps even at the furthest points of the network. This positive aspect, coupled with the relatively low cost of expansion, makes this system a viable option, especially for users comfortable navigating a somewhat complex setup and troubleshooting minor software issues. Ultimately, our reviewer recommends this system with the caveat that potential buyers should be prepared for a challenging initial setup, a less-than-ideal user interface, and the potential need for more nodes than initially anticipated for complete coverage. The significant advantage of affordability and adequate speed outweigh the drawbacks for this particular reviewer.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer was overwhelmingly pleased with their recent purchase of a 3-pack mesh Wi-Fi system. This client had previously used a different mesh system, and while its performance was acceptable, they sought an upgrade to Wi-Fi 6E technology for future-proofing their home network. Their 2-story home, while not exceptionally large, sits on a sizable property, requiring robust coverage. Our reviewer felt that the advertised coverage area of the 3-pack system wasn't excessive given their needs. They wanted seamless connectivity extending beyond the confines of their house to encompass their entire yard. The system exceeded their expectations in providing this comprehensive coverage. The setup process was remarkably simple. After downloading the accompanying app, this client replaced their old router with one of the new units. Unlike their previous system, which designated a single unit as the primary router, this system's flexibility allowed any of the 3 units to function as the router. This was a welcome feature for our reviewer. The auto-sensing ports detected the modem connection automatically, designating the connected unit as the router. Connecting the remaining 2 units was equally effortless, seamlessly integrating them into the network within a matter of minutes. This client then repositioned the additional units strategically around their property, with the system automatically recognizing and reintegrating them into the network. This client's internet plan provides speeds up to 400 Mbps download and 100 Mbps upload. Wired connections to the router consistently delivered speeds near the maximum download capacity, although upload speeds remained somewhat lower than the advertised maximum. However, with optimal placement of the additional units, wireless speeds throughout their home and property were remarkably consistent, reaching speeds only slightly below the wired connection maximums even at the furthest points of their yard, even with obstacles such as a large tree. The accompanying app was also praised by this client. Its intuitive interface provides comprehensive control over the network, catering to both novice and advanced users. Features such as custom device naming, push notifications for device connections, scheduled reboots, and remote access to settings were particularly noteworthy, especially compared to their previous system's app, which limited access to settings when off the home network. This client's experience with this product was exceptionally positive, marking their first venture into this particular brand's offerings, and leaving them highly impressed and recommending it to others.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer initiated their search for a mesh Wi-Fi system after experiencing insufficient range and speed with their previous single router, particularly affecting 4 GHz devices in more distant areas of their home. Our reviewer's research focused on systems with minimal negative online reviews, ultimately leading them to this product. While initially concerned about the lack of comprehensive, built-in security software without a subscription, this client found the inherent security features sufficient for home use, supplementing it with existing antivirus software. They further tested the system's security using both the built-in app security test and an independent online security assessment, confirming its adequacy. The initial setup, however, presented a minor hurdle. This client encountered an issue inputting their email address into the accompanying app, briefly considering returning the product. Fortunately, this problem resolved itself, allowing setup to proceed. Our reviewer found the app's interface somewhat less comprehensive than web-based router interfaces they were accustomed to. Nonetheless, once connected, the product successfully delivered full internet speed to all devices. They advise against overusing the quality of service (QoS) feature, noting that the system performs well without it, and that selecting too many devices for high priority can negatively impact speeds. To simplify the initial connection process, this client suggests powering on each device individually to ease device identification and renaming within the app. Connecting multiple devices simultaneously complicates the process of matching IP addresses displayed in the app with those on the devices themselves. The ability to manually select the Wi-Fi band 4 GHz or 5 GHz for individual devices proved useful in one instance, although this did result in a minor display issue within the app, where a device manually assigned to the 5 GHz band appeared on the not connected list. Our reviewer suggests this may be corrected with a future software update. Finally, this client observed that the fast roaming feature, designed to allow devices to seamlessly switch between access points, doesn't always trigger automatically if the signal strength is still reasonably good. To ensure a switch to the closest access point for optimal signal, restarting the device, or manually reassigning it via the app's scan function may be necessary. Despite these minor drawbacks, our reviewer expressed overall satisfaction with this product, citing its superior performance compared to alternatives and attributing this to the significantly lower percentage of negative user reviews observed during their research. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.